Welcome to the Unblock Your Business podcast. I'm Abby Rogers, success coach, business coach and hypnotherapist, and I help high achievers and business leaders master their subconscious habits for success, income goals and, above all, happiness. But success isn't just about mindset or strategy. It's about combining both and sealing the deal with a big dose of subconscious alignment, because our subconscious holds the true key to unlocking our potential. Let's dive in and look at how you can show up bigger, better and more uniquely aligned in life and business today. Hello and welcome back. So today is all about unblocking your flow and giving you some tips to help you basically on those days when you feel a little bit and you just can't be bothered and it's just not feeling good. But before we get stuck into that, I'd just love to say thank you so much to everyone who's downloaded and subscribed and shared and rated the podcast this week. Really, really appreciate that because every interaction obviously helps it grow and helps to spread the word and get it out there. So thank you so much for that. Also, just to say that as we work through the episodes, you might well find that you've got questions that come up for you, or there might just be things that you'd like some help with. So what I'm going to do is just put my contact email in the show notes, and I would really love for you to get in touch and just let me know anything that you want to ask or anything that you'd like to see covered. So don't be afraid to reach out and just say, Abby, I'd love to know a bit more about this. Can you help me with this particular thing? I would love to have your feedback and input and just know what is going to be most useful to you. So do give me a shout. So this week, as I say, we're going to have a look at some quick ways to help you when you're feeling stuck and when you're feeling like you've lost your mojo. We all have those days, don't we, when we're just feeling really down, or it's just been a dreadful morning with the kids, or we've got out of the wrong side of bed and we're just feeling like it's just not happening for us. And it can be tempting just to write those days off and not really get anything done, or, you know, kind of wade through it and just feel like you're facing this constant battle and not really being as productive or as on it as you would like. Now, lots of the self-care advice out there says on those days, just take time out, just only work when you're really feeling it. That's true, I think, to a point. I think that can be really useful advice at times. So definitely, like when we're not feeling well, if our body's just saying, no, I need to rest right now, then always listen to it. Definitely, if your body's shouting at you, then it's time to pay attention. You don't want to take it to the extreme and end up with your body backfiring. Been there, it's not great. Don't do it, kids. So I think also if we're feeling just overtired, we don't work in our best way, we don't think clearly basically when we are really tired. So if you need a bit of rest, go and get a bit of rest. It will do wonders for your productivity. If you're feeling just generally burnt out, then totally step away, go and do something relaxing, maybe a bit of exercise or something that just allows you to recover. That's brilliant advice for those sorts of times. But other times it's more just about our mood temporarily being in the wrong place. And actually with a bit of a boost and just a few simple tricks and tweaks, we can just get fired up and ready to go again very quickly. So you don't really want to lose a whole day's productivity if it's a case of just being able to get back on it with a few tweaks. So this is what this is for, really. And I think it's especially common for our mood and motivation to fluctuate. When we are feeling anxious, when we're feeling stressed, when we've got loads on, when we've got tons of different jobs to do, or if we suffer with depression as well, we can definitely find our mood can be up and down really easily. And when those things are behind it, our lack of motivation and not tackling our to-do list and just taking time out when we're feeling like that can actually maybe lead to us feeling worse. So we don't want to kind of take that time out and then find that we're actually ending up at the end of the day thinking, oh God, I've still really miles behind with all this stuff I've got to do. That's just counterproductive in many ways. So I'm really a firm believer that rest and self-care need to be built into our regular routine. And they're not just something to do when we've reached that point of no alternative, when we've just absolutely crashed and our body's just saying no. So I think if you can do that, if you can build in structure in your week that allows you to rest and take time out, that's super important, and it will really supercharge your productivity and focus. But just being able to shift your mood back to calm and coping can actually really help with that sense of control and achievement, and actually make you feel a whole lot better. So that's why I love this mindset fix. It's so helpful, and just doing that can be so important in helping us actually feel good, just being able to get on and tackle those jobs we know we've got to do. So I call this my 5-minute mindset fix, and it's great for those days when you're just feeling really negative, when your thoughts are just muddled and you're just feeling like it's all too hard and there's too much to do. So how do we do it? So first thing is just to check in with your body language. So when we are feeling stressed and overwhelmed, basically it's a sign that our body's feeling threatened and scared of all that stuff that we've got to do. We just our brain switches into self-defense mode, if you like. So our body reacts to that, and it starts to basically kind of scrunch up and go into self-defense mode as well. So we can find we're quite hunched, our shoulders come up, we feel kind of tight, and we're not moving very much. We tend to make ourselves small. We're scowling often. And these are all the things that you would do if you were being attacked by a wild animal or something. You would kind of shrink up and shrivel up and protect yourself. So to reverse that, basically, we need to straighten out and relax. So just be aware of your body and notice any kind of spots that are feeling a bit hunched or a bit tight. Move around a bit, because movement really sends signals to your brain that it's okay and that this environment's safe to relax in. And that just allows your brain to calm down and exit that stress and panic mode, and it helps you feel more in control. So a bit of movement, bit of straightening out and just relaxing first of all. And then it's all about the breathing as well, because our breathing again sends feedback signals to our brain about how stressed we are or how well we're coping with things. So I really recommend something that is called rectangular breathing, and there are plenty of breathing methods out there, but I know this works for sure, because it's all about basically allowing your out breath to be longer than your in breath, and when we do that, that actually triggers the opposite system to our fight or flight system. It's called the parasympathetic system. And breathing in that way just helps trigger that parasympathetic system, which is our rest and restore system. So basically, a few breaths where you're just taking a nice slow breath in, but then making your out breath longer than that in breath. And if I'm feeling at all stressed or anxious, I tend to find maybe 5 of those, and I can just feel so much better really, really quickly. So give that a go. So first of all, movement, and then have a look at your breathing and try rectangular breathing. After we've done that, after we've physically relaxed, then we need to get our thinking out of that negative spiral and get our brain in the right place, or it's just going to keep going all day long and make us feel really rubbish all day. Because our brains are basically really wired to look through the lens of negativity when we're in a stressed and anxious place. And so what we have to do is divert our brain into a more positive place and reroute those thoughts and allow our brain to sort of see that positivity is an option instead. So when we do that, when we can switch our thoughts into a more positive track, then all of a sudden we can feel much calmer, more inspired, insight starts to flow, and we feel that we can cope so much better. So the easiest way to do that, the little trick I love, is just to come up with at least 5 things, 10 things if you can, because that's even better. But at least 5 things that you can feel really pleased about or really grateful for right now. not looking at fake positivity, because I don't think that's helpful at all. We don't want to be sticking on rose-tinted specs and just going, oh yeah, I'm grateful for this because I should be grateful for it. But look for things that you can genuinely find a reason to be pleased for in that moment. So it might be the smallest thing. It might be like, I'm enjoying my cup of tea right now because this is really nice. So yeah, just find things that allow you to feel genuinely good about them. So that could be looking at what's gone well this week for you. We really quickly forget the things that go well. So just scroll back through your mental filing system and see if you can find a couple of things that have gone well, or that have shown you that actually the week's not been a complete write-off. Look back on everything you've achieved, and maybe even dig out like old reviews. Quite often that can be really a boost. That can definitely make you feel a lot more positive in the moment. And focusing on things like what or who you appreciate in life as well. And as I say, really focusing on things that you genuinely feel you can appreciate, not things that you feel you should appreciate, because there's quite a difference between those very often. Now, this is so important that I've actually built it into my membership. And we have a positivity prompt in there every single morning to just help the members start their day in a better frame of mind and build confidence, along with a weekly task that we do to tackle things like limiting beliefs and subconscious alignment. And it's so effective. It's just super simple. It can feel like it's a challenge. And I think that's where people so often struggle, is just that it feels hard, so they stop trying to do it. But if you can get to a place where you are regularly doing that bit of gratitude thinking or journaling, then it can make all the difference. So super simple but super effective. It really doesn't take much to improve your mindset, but you need to be consistent with it. That really helps. So we've done relaxing our body, just checking in with our breathing and switching that into calming breathing, the rectangular breath. And then we've looked at switching our thoughts into a more positive place. So next thing to do is just remind yourself of your main goals for the day. So just looking at literally 2 or 3 easily achievable goals, or at least manageable things. So keep it to 2 or 3. Don't go overboard, because otherwise you'll just totally overwhelm your mind again. If you get beyond 2 or 3 later in the day, you feel inspired to do more, then brilliant, go and do more. But early in the morning, or just when you're just starting to work, go for just 2 or 3 that feel like you can do them. And if you need some help with goal setting at all, then just get in touch and I can point you to some great resources that I've created to help with that. Lastly, just think about how you want to feel to help you face your day and achieve those goals. So you've woken up maybe feeling one way, or you've got into a certain mindset by this point. How would you actually prefer to be feeling instead? What would really help you? So based on that, just create yourself a nice positive statement, an affirmation. So that could be something just as simple as, I am feeling calm, focused and productive. And even just those few words can make all the difference. So thinking it will help as you're creating that affirmation. But if you can actually say it out loud to yourself and do it in a way that really tells you you've got conviction behind it and that you believe it, really lean into the emotion of it, then you should find that your outlook really shifts for the better. So maybe just repeat that a few times to yourself and notice what happens. So if you try this, if you give my little mindset fix a go, I would love to know how you get on. So just drop me an email at the address in the show notes. It's Abby, ABI, at abigail-rogers.com. But as I say, it's written there in the show notes. So if you need it, check it out there. And of course, if you found it helpful, I would really love it if you would share the podcast, spread the word and help me get it out there so that more people can benefit too. So that's it for this week. So bye for now. Great to chat to you again. Next episode, I'll be looking at 10 reasons why we procrastinate and what you can do to help yourself with that. So look out for that one. See you next week. And in the meantime, have a wonderful week. Thanks for listening. I really hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, it would be incredible if you could pop a review on iTunes, Google, Spotify, or your favourite podcast platform. And if you want to dive deeper, you can find me in my free Facebook group, Align Your Mind for Limitless Success, or at www.abigail-rogers.com. See you next week.